Hello everyone, welcome back. Severus here, coming back with a new part of What If Deku Was Like Toji. And let's just get right into it. So, after 2 weeks of training, Midoriya makes his way into his school. And, the whole school day goes on before finally, when they all want to go home, someone, or a lot of people actually, stand in front of their door, blocking their way. As Baku looks into them saying, "Get out of the way, extras. Now since you know how real heroes look like, get out of the way." As well, Ida telling him to, stop doing that, Bakugo, don't assault your classmates or, other students. As one of the students goes forward, being a kid with purple hair, saying, "So this is the supposed class 1A? Man, I was hoping to come here and see some real heroes, but I guess there's just a lot of egomaniacs." As Bugs said, "What did you say?" As immediately he said, "We're just here to check to check you all." As he started explaining about the sport festival and that one of them could take their place, as he said, "And also, we heard that you guys got attacked in the USJ. Not only that, there were rumors saying that one of you managed to take down the villain's secret weapon." As well, immediately Midoriya goes forward saying, "Out of my way." As Shinso looks into him saying, "Are you Izuku Midoriya?" As Midoriya said, "So?" As he said, "So are the rumors true about you?" As Midoriya said, "What rumors? They speak rumors about me now?" As Shinso said, "Quite frankly, yeah. I mean, look at you carrying that weird thing on your shoulder." As Midoriya said, "Say something more about my worm, and I will feed you to her." As Shinso said, "Chill now. See? Just violent as everybody else here. They say that you managed to defeat the villain's secret weapon." As Midoriya said, "Those rumors are a lie. Don't believe them." As he said, "Really? Well, I guess I should not believe them. But there is one that really caught me off guard. That says you are quirkless." As some of the students that standing behind Shinso hearing this saying, "Quirkless? Wait, the hot kid from class 1A is quirkless?" As some of the girls talk and they never knew he was quirkless. Midoriya class may know that Midoriya is quirkless, but the rest of the school, they were always unaware of that fact. As Midoriya said, "And what if I am quirkless?" "Yes, I'm quirkless, so?" As Shinso said, "Yeah, it's expected. So they do let anybody get into the hero course these days, man. And they giving you a seat here? What a waste." As Midoriya said, "A waste of what? Space?" As immediately Shinso said, "Yeah, well, you're occupying one of the, desk here. It could be used for somebody that is actually gonna be a hero. I don't know, someone like me." As Midoriya said, "And what is your quirk? Being completely obnoxious and annoying? Because if it is, then you are certainly a hero material." As he said, "Not exactly. But I just want to tell you, why don't you just quit? Quirkless guy like you shouldn't be here in the hero course." As Midoriya said, "You think you're the first one to tell me that? Get some no lines and get out of my way. Because unlike you, degenerates, I have better things to do. So, get out of my way." As immediately, Midoriya just stares at them with a cold stare, which causes some of the students to just stand out of his way, as everybody just walk out of Midoriya's way, and Midoriya walks away. Well, some of the, Tetsu hearing him, he just tells him that he's gonna beat his ass or something like that or whatever. In the end, Midoriya just leaves. And next day, everybody is standing in front of Midnight to give a speech. So, the person in the first place in the entrance exam would be the one to give a speech. So, immediately, Midoriya goes forward after she calls on his name. As Midoriya stands in front of everyone, with an unfazed look, he's, take a deep breath, thinking what he should say. As he said, "I just want to let everybody know that I made it into the hero course, and I am quirkless." As well, Midoriya just walks down the stage. As everybody was in silence for a bit, saying, "No way, he's quirkless? How's that make sense? Which start getting people to talk with each other, and well, Midori just goes down and well stands with the rest of the students as Araka said, "What was that for?" As Midori said, just trying to make things obvious. As well, Midnight told everybody to get ready for their first part of the, well, the sport festival. As Aizawa watching this from the, well, his little room with the, well, of course, present mic, he remembers a little conversation he had with Midoriya before the sport festival start. He talked with him about how, since Midoriya is quirkless, he should be the one. They agreed to allow him to have a weapon into the sport festival. An item, a support item, something of his choosing, which Midoriya kindly refuses, telling Aizawa that if he carries a weapon into the sport festival, everybody will not see him as him. They will see him as the kid that brought a sword into the sport festival, not the quirkless kid that managed to single-handedly win the sport festival, which surprises Aizawa. See, here's Midoriya wanting to win the sport festival, as Midoriya just tells him that that is his goal. He'll win and prove that he can be on the top. He will take the top. As, well, after that conversation, Aizawa still told him that he can still have a weapon, but Midoriya refuses. Because what is the fun in not being able to beat their asses with his hands, with his naked fists? But also at the same time, Midoriya did ask Aizawa for a favor. He gave him his worm to put around his body because Midoriya can't carry it into the sport festival, he's scared on it. So, when Aizawa has the worm wrapped around himself, it first felt disgusting, but then, oh boy then, it feels so warm, just so beautiful. He feels as if he's being cuddled by his mother once again, like a baby. Now he understands why Midoriya keeps this thing around his body all the time. This worm is far more comfortable than any pillow he ever put his head on or any sleeping bag he ever slept in. And right now he still has it while he's in the, well, talking with the present mic in their own little room to commentate on the sport festival. While they are talking, immediately the sport festival starts as Midnight tell everybody to go. As in that moment, Midoriya immediately rushes, start jumping on the walls, dodging the floor before, well, jumping out. Todoroki freezes the ground, which, caught a lot of people off guard. However, Midoriya is already ahead of everybody. As President Mike said, and it seems Izuku Midoriya is ahead of all of the rest of the students. As, well, he continues saying that Shoto Todoroki is quickly following behind of him right after Katsuki Bakugo. As, well, Bakugo and Todoroki are just following Midoriya. Todoroki seeing how quick Midoriya is running. But then Midoriya stops because there are a lot of robots in front of him. Todoroki freezes the zero-pointer. Bakugo flies over them and destroys some robots. A robot tried to attack Midoriya, but then Midoriya immediately jumps on the robots and pulls off his head. As Midoriya looking left and right and seeing some destroyed rubbles of the robots, he immediately takes a piece of the robots that he found, as Izuku said in his mind saying, well, I did say I'm not gonna take a weapon with me, but this doesn't count, does it? It's a piece in the... I don't know. Perhaps, but it will be useful. As immediately, Midoriya just goes ahead with wrapping the, well, piece of the armor of one of the robots on his back. And until he finds himself in the, well, pit zone, he immediately starts running on the wires like it's flat ground. After that, he follows into the, well, minefield. And there, Midoriya is seeing the mines on the floor. He immediately uses the metal piece. After running ahead, he starts running, as then jumps in the air before using the metal piece, puts it under his feet as a skateboard, and he falls right on one of the mines before causing him to fly straight ahead in front of Bakugo and Todoroki, as he just goes right between them. In that moment, they just see him smiling as he keeps running, and with the extra momentum that he got from the explosion, he runs even faster. Todoroki freezes the ground so he can save himself from stepping on any explosives. Bakugo tries to fly after Midoriya, but Midoriya is just too quick, and he's also dodging the mines on the floor quickly. Todoroki and Baku are so amazed of how he's able to just, well, walk as if there aren't any mines on the floor. It almost he walks as if he's not even kicking any dirt in the air. He doesn't even leave footprints on the floor. He walks over the mines as if they're just normal ground. As Todoroki's in his mind, how can somebody have such light feet? In the end, Midoriya managed to go through the gates and win the first place, with Midnight announcing the winner of the first place. And while the stadium is quiet for a little bit, saying, isn't he the kid that just said that he was quirkless and he managed to win the first round? They're still not quite sure of it, which then Aizawa ensured them, saying, if you all wonder, yes, he is quirkless. Izuku Midoriya, student from Class 1A, 16-year-old. He's completely quirkless. This is not a lie. You should be impressed. He did not get here by any chances. He worked hard to make it here. So, don't act weird when he is winning. As Midoriya looks into Aizawa in the room, saying his mind, thanks, I guess. Eventually, the second part of the, well, sport festival starts, which is the cavalry battle, which then Midoriya, Uraka, and Tokiyami have joined team after Midoriya. After all, that's the team that Midoriya took. He tried to get after Ida, but Ida refused his offer, telling him that even though that Midoriya is certainly amazing, he still doesn't believe that he should be in this hero course. A quirkless kid just can't do it. He may be able to do amazing things, he may be quicker, faster, but there is just some limits he could never surpass. At least that's what Ida said, and beside, he doesn't want to follow behind Midoriya, certainly, because in his own words, following behind Midoriya will just not land him anywhere. In the end, one of the other students from the sport course tried to give Midoriya her, well, babies, being Mei Hatsumi, but Midoriya refused her to join his team because certainly Mei is, well, she is a gadget maker, but at the same time Midoriya didn't want to use any gadgets for the sport festival. Also, he did give a promise to somebody to never use any technological weapons that aren't made by the same guy. It's like a vow he gave him, a binding vow, if you will. Regardless of which, Midoriya chose another person, being none other than Kirishima as well. Kirishima joined Midoriya team because he just believed Midoriya being so cool and manly. So, Kirishima is the horse of Midoriya, Tokiyami is, well, on the right side, and Uraka is on the left side. Although some other girls wanted to join Midoriya's team, but Midoriya didn't find any use of them. Anyway, as Midoriya is on the top, he told his team that he have a plan, and his plan is simple: attack. As Kirishima, Tokiyami, and Uraka are surprised. What does he mean by attack? As Kirishima said, shouldn't we just focus on defend? As Midoriya said, that exactly. The best kind of defense is to attack first. Tell me what will happen when somebody take our headband. We need to have some extra points, and as a backup. And beside, I do want to have a battle as well. Midoriya said, that's why I want you, Tokiyami. You're gonna be our secret, well, band collector. After all, they won't expect us to go for the attack, and we won't. We're gonna let them come in and try to attack us. In that moment, we will just gonna allow you to take their headbands. Thanks to Uraka and making us all weight less, we will be perfect and, well, less heavy for Kirishima to lead us and take us into the others, so you can pull off their headbands. Understood? As well, Tokiyami said, understood. As Midoriya said, and I'm gonna make my job to protect our 10 million. And also remember, I can sense where they are coming from. Just listen to what I say, and we will certainly be winning. As well, they agree to Midoriya's plan, as it actually works. Midoriya sensing everybody around him, the little vibration in the air, the smell, the sound, and everything. Midoriya using it, and, well, Tokiyami certainly does collecting some headbands from lower teams. In the end, Baku and Todoroki try to attack Midoriya. Baku gets distracted with Monoma, Todoroki, surrounds Midoriya with some ice. Midoriya sees Ida and Todoroki. But Midoriya at the same time, he sees the clock and seeing it being, well, almost over. So, he decided to buy himself some time by talking to Todoroki saying, "Why aren't you using your fire?" As Todoroki eyes widen. And Midoriya said, Todoroki, I always wanted a quirk as amazing as yours. But I never were lucky, unlike you. I cried my eyes out every night trying to get myself a power. And here I am, all quirkless. But I guess what I'm trying to say is that I feel a bit disgusted. Why aren't you using your fire? You're blessed with such an amazing power. As Todoroki just shakes this thought, saying he's just trying to distract me. Just trying to distract me. As well, Ida using his Cerebro Burst, and at that moment he rushes right into Midoriya as Todoroki tries to pull on his headband, but at that moment he did, well, pull something. But when Todoroki looks into his hand, it wasn't the 10 million. It was another 250 headband. As he said, "What?" As immediately Ida said, "Did you get it?" As Todoroki said, "No, it's not the right one." As Midoriya said, "I knew this would happen. Ida's speed is what scared me the most. Even with my reaction time, I didn't believe I would be able to dodge it, and I guess I didn't. I guess I'm not that invincible." Regardless, the timer runs out as Midoriya wins, and Midoriya said, "Nice job, team." As Oraka said, Midoriya? What you said? Todoroki, was it, As Kirishima said, "You okay, man?" As Midoriya said, I'm fine. Don't worry about it. It was just a distraction. Come on, you gotta understand that by now." As Midoriya said, "And beside, don't play nice with me anymore. After all, now we're back into being enemies. It's not like I don't hate you guys, but at the same time, I'm not gonna back out just because you're my friends." As well, he just walks away before they ask him anything more. After which, Midoriya gets called by Todoroki to talk, which then he goes with Todoroki to talk in private. And in that moment, when they are alone, Midoriya tells him, said, "So you want to talk right now, or are you gonna join us, Katsuki?" As Todoroki said, "What are you talking about?" As Midoriya said, "Show yourself, I know they're in the corner." Alright, don't you know it's rude to eardrop on other people's conversation? As Bug comes out saying, "Whatever. As if I care about what you two say." As he just walks away, and Todoroki is surprised. He didn't know that Bug was there. How did Midoriya know that he was there? As Midoriya said, "Okay, now you can talk." As Todoroki said, "You're certainly amazing, Midoriya." As Izuku said, "Sure. Listen, if you're here only to praise me, then I would like to go and eat my lunch." As Todoroki started talking to him, he told him about his backstory, where he got the scar and everything, which Midoriya is yawning. As Todoroki said, "Am I boring you?" As Midoriya said, "Listen here, I don't want to be rude or anything, but it's like, you're not the only person here with sad backstory, and it's like, I couldn't care less." As Todoroki said, "Excuse me." As Midoriya said, "Since we are sharing our sad backstories, how about I share mine? I was a quirkless kid, everybody bullied me, yada yada yada. My father left my mother because I was certainly not worth raising, and now I'm here and, constantly got bullied. I needed to work myself to the bone just to make it where I am, and yada yada yada. End of the story. See? Was that hard? Everybody has a sad backstory if you think about it hard enough." As Todoroki said, I guess you're right. Sorry. However, I just want to tell you, next match, me and you will gonna have to fight, and when we fight, you better leave the ring, because," as Midoriya said, "Oh, it's that talk again." As Midoriya said, "Listen, if you think that I'm gonna give up just because you told me to give up, I'm not, and I'm certainly not. And I certainly would love to beat some egomaniac like you, thinking you could just beat me just because you have a quirk." As Todoroki said, "Exactly. You're quirkless. and I am certainly stronger than you. As Midoriya said, we'll see about that. As Midoriya walks out, as he's saying, but when I defeat you, your look on your face would be priceless. I know that for certain. As Midoriya goes to eat his lunch, in the end, Midoriya gets taken by another student being Ojiro that tells Midoriya about Shinso's quirk, which Midoriya thanks him for his help, and then he proceeded to tell him to win the match for him, and Midoriya thanks him for his help. Even though he never talked to Ojiro, he didn't believe him to be so kind. He is really weirded out. Everybody in Class 1A are so kind, even those that he didn't never talk to. Well, except Baku and Todoroki, those two are just assholes by given. Maybe also Ida, but that's just another different story. Regardless, Midoriya makes his way into the ring as he cracks his knuckles and neck before looking into Shinso that starts saying, so, you did manage to win the first 2 rounds. Congrats. I guess you're not so useless after all. As Midoriya just starts walking after to Shinso after President Mike starts the match. And Shinso keep talking saying, you know, that Ujiro was really stupid. He should have not wasted his chance. As Midoriya just keep walking towards Shinso, which Shinso is surprised he didn't flinch on that, as he start insulting his friends while Midoriya just calmly walking towards Shinso, not even trying to, take this seriously. As then Shinso said, you don't belong in Class 1A or the Hero Course. You and that ugly worm of yours. As Midoriya then stops saying, as he looks angry, as Shinso said, that thing that you carry around your body is a disgusting lump of meat. I don't know how you would ever call that a pet. As Midoriya said, don't you dare talk about. As Midoriya goes under Shinso's control. As Shinso said, bingo, you lose. As everybody's seeing Midoriya stopping, then Shinso tells him to turn around and walk out of the ring. As he does that, he starts walking slowly while Shinso saying in his mind, I almost got scared there for a second. But I guess I should have known better. After all, insulting somebody's pet is a crime on its own, I guess. But now, as he speaks with a loud voice, saying, lose for me, Izuku Midoriya. But then, before Midoriya steps out of the ring, he stops. As Shinso repeats again saying, what are you waiting for? Get out of the ring and lose already. As Midoriya turns, looks over his shoulder to Shinso saying, who are you to give me orders? You loser. As immediately Shinso is surprised, he takes a step back saying, how did you break out of my... How did you... As Midoriya turned around to look into him saying, do you really think I'll obey you? As Shinso said, how did you break out? How did you... As Midoriya said, break out of what? As Midoriya falls into it again. But then Midoriya just shakes his head and said, what are you doing? Stop it. As Shinso said, did you break out of my mind control again? As Midoriya said, oh, so it's mind control. As Midoriya said, as Shinso looks into him saying, how did you break out of it? It's mind control, you shouldn't be able to. As Midoriya said, how did I do indeed? As Midoriya puts his hand into his, chin saying, well, I guess it's because my body is just special. As Shinso said, special? What do you mean? As Midoriya said, my body is enhanced, is far more stronger and superior to any regular human being. I have more muscles, tough, stronger bones, and much more durable organs. At the same time, that applies to my senses, also my brain. My brain has a lot more brain cells than the regular human brain, which allows me to think twice as fast, even faster. In other words, the moment that I'm thinking about throwing a punch, my fist is already have clenched itself and start throwing a punch before I even make the command. It feels weird sometimes, almost like my body is autopiloting itself and I'm just a pilot that's taking a ride. I never could explain it truly. The only way for you to know how exactly I feel is if you are having a body the same as mine. But I guess you will never do that, would you? You'll never have one as mine. In other words, my body took over my brain. Or you could just call it instincts. As Shinso said, instincts. As Midoriya said, yep, just instincts. As Midoriya started walking back into Shinso, but then, in that moment, Shinso blinks and that was his biggest mistake because Midoriya suddenly appears in front of his face as he stares deep into his eyes. Before Shinso just, well, falls on his back, looking up into Midoriya while Midoriya said, so that's it? Your one trick is not working and now you're just gonna fall on the ground and shake like a little... Man, how disappointing. As immediately Shinso stand up and try to punch Midoriya's face, which Midoriya didn't even flinch or move an inch. As Shinso's hands start hurting him, as Midoriya said, you call that a punch? I'll show you a punch. As he grabs him by his, well, shirt and throw him out of the ring. As Midoriya said, but if I do punch you, you would be in the hospital for a week, so I guess this should do for now. As Shinso loses and Midoriya said, stop acting like this. You said that you're gonna show me that don't deserve to be in the hero course, and yet somehow you never trained your body. How are you ever hoping to be a hero if you can't even put your own strength into the test, thinking you could only defeat everybody with your quirk? That's your biggest mistake. When you realize that, then perhaps you might actually have a slim chance of victory. As Midoriya leaves the ring. And this is gonna leave it off, guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment down below. Tell me what you think about this part, and what do you think will gonna happen in the next part. Well, I have nothing more to say than Severed was here.